Hey, this is MassX with a brand new One Punch Man the Strongest video. And yes, the UR time is arriving. Not really any shock to anyone. We all knew this was coming. We all knew who would we be getting, but it is now coming. So let's just talk about UR first, with the hope the game does not shut down in April. But putting that aside, let's talk about it. So it's pretty much exactly the same as SSR Pluses, so that's the good news. You're gonna use your Evo Stones 4 and one Awakening Stone. You're gonna be using the BTs, the pull, so that's all fine and dandy. Really the only change is there's these UR Evo Stones instead that are red colored. So the orange ones we have are only good for the SSR Pluses. So you can either choose to use up those stones with your SSR Pluses now. There was a conversion method to SSR Pluses. We'll give you one UR stone. We won't know if we will have that until, of course, we get our update on the 1st of March, but something to keep in mind. So, as you know, if you read the notice, it is, of course, going to be Tatsumaki, Terrible Tornado, which is also no surprise. That was the first unit released. So let's go through that unit and really talk about if this character is even, and I know it's a fan favorite, but legitimately what you should be going after, especially if you're a light spender, especially if you're free to play, with the idea the game continues. Okay, of course, if we knew it was going to shut down for sure, then use up whatever resources you have. But again, we're going to take it as if the game doesn't shut it down and this all gets resolved with Fight Dance. So what does this character do? Well, the skills kit is pretty straightforward. The basic, it's going to do 2 consecutive strikes to a single target, does 120% attack. Whoop-de-doo, as usual, we don't care much about that. The ultimate attacks all enemies. It does 3 consecutive strikes. Its damage will be 300% attack, and it has a 100% chance of inflicting field to all enemies. So DOT by 400% attack and 80% chance to ignore immunity. It also removes adhesion / paralysis for herself, which is a big plus for this character. Now the passive, after any ally acts, launches ultimate follow-up to the whole team by 80%. It will do that 2 times per round. Restores specialized guard by 50% DOT from detonation. That is actually really nice. Gives some survivability to this version of TT. So that's actually a big plus also. The Awaken passive, when battle begins, summons Hellish Blizzard to assist in battle. 100% attack of URTT. After URTT attacks or ultimate follow-up being launched, Hellish Blizzard will attack with the same style. So if it's a basic, she's going to deal 100% attack damage to a random target. If it's the ultimate, attacks all enemies with 3 consecutive strikes and deals damage by 100% attack and detonates field DOT by 100%, which is actually pretty cool. Now let's talk about if it's worth, of course, 5P'ing as well as the keepsake. Well, the ultra ultimate damage will go to 450%, which is a 150% increase. The DOT damage goes up by 200%, so it's 600%. So yeah, you're seeing that this character is going to need that extra push. But it's just too good. The extreme passive, the follow-up, goes from 80 to 100%, and the restoration of S-Guard goes to 65%, which is a 15% increase. All good stuff. The 5P passive, the follow-up, now pushes it to 120% versus 100%. And the restoration of the S-Guard now goes to 80%. So this is some really great stuff with this character if you go with the Keepsake and 5 Peen. The Awaken 2 for this one, Hellish Blizzard's attack goes to 120%, which is a 20% increase, and the Hellish Blizzard Ultimate DOT goes to 160%, which is 60% increase. And it's after any character acts, it recovers from stun / specialized stun, which is big with a counter to MK. So yeah, this character kind of needs all this to really be super good, because honestly, it's actually not the best damage dealing character out there, and especially with other URs coming, which we'll talk about, she doesn't rank that high in the long run. So gearing for this character, you would expect, okay, for a damage dealer, it's going to be attack percent gear, period. So let's talk about this character. And what we talked about first off, one of the biggest cons to this character is that there's just better UR units, okay? Sonic, G4, I mean, you've got the core unit of Boros coming. All much better characters and a much better lifespan in the game. So that's the biggest downside to this character. But again, people are going to want this character just because she's popular. She does do decent, DPS as an AoE. That restoration of S-Guard from the detonation is really good though for her, for survivability. So you couple that with the fact that you're getting those follow-ups, and yeah, it's gonna give the character a lot of ability to survive. Like I said earlier, she's got the recovery from stun and S-stun, so it is a decent counter to MK+, but it's got to be Octued, so yeah. And of course the adhesion removal, so that's good too. In the end though, everybody wants the newest, shiniest new toy, but realistically, if you're free to play, this is not where you start with UR. So that's my personal opinion. You do what you want. And again, we don't know where this game's going, so you can just roll the dice, use the stuff you've got, the resources you've got if you've been hoarding for this day, and you'll see what happens. We're getting no indications at this point, so I don't know what to think anymore. We're not getting fed any information from the publisher. I track all the articles and everything going on, and quite honestly, there's just nothing right now, so I can't give you a feeling which way it's gonna go. My gut tells me it's EOS all the way. Just know this character is not going to be the be-all end-all of URs, and quite honestly, it's on a lower echelon tier than most URs, and we're going to see some doozies if this game does continue on. With that, as always, please like and subscribe. It helps a lot. Have a great day.